Well, hello, I'm Nathan Judah. I'm delighted to be joined on deadline day. It's 2 o'clock by Mr. Liam Key, Wolverhampton Wanderers reporter. Welcome back. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well. It's been much going on in my absence.
It's quiet,
Been
to be
quiet,
honest.
yeah,
Not
quiet.
really. Wolves not doing any business. Look, deadline day. It's like I say. It's what we've got at this moment in time of recording. Not a lot can happen between now and 9 hours worth of business. So let's go with the done deals first. Let's go with what's happened over the last couple of days. Talk a little bit about them, and then we'll go on to what may happen. I feel like Christmas Carol. It goes to past, present, and Christmas future. But let's go with what's happened previous to this. So who's through the door already from Wolves' point of view, and of course, who has left?
Yes. So obviously, Matheus Nunes has departed. All happened quite.
Yes.
I know, a shock. I mean, look, we're gonna give our thoughts probably more in depth on the podcast coming up. But obviously, going on strike, trying to force through the move. Wolves have benefited, not only making a profit on him, selling him for 53 million. And of course, there was some very late negotiations in that as well. It was 47 as a verbal agreement, 53 by the following morning as a formal agreement. And Wolves.
You wouldn't mind making 6 million overnight, would you? It's
No, it's not
not
bad,
bad,
is
that
it?
is it?
Not bad. No, not at
You
all.
wouldn't turn that down.
And look, Wolves have lost a very, very good player. Don't get me wrong, but with that, they've been able to add quantity and what we hope is quality as well. So with him departing, Wolves have the first two moves they made was to bring in Enzo Gonzalez, Paraguayan 18-year-old winger, £5 million, 6-year deal with an option for a 7th year. So they clearly hope that he's going to turn into one hell of a player. And look, you can't expect loads from him straight away. It's going to be early doors, young lad, new country, doesn't speak the language. Big jump up in quality in terms of the league as well, but going to give him a bit of time. Looks an exciting prospect. Someone you would hope that makes a bit more of an impact, albeit potentially as a squad player from the beginning, is Santiago Bueno. For me, probably one of the more key signings are the ones we've seen over the last 24 hours, being a centre back. Wolves needed a centre back, a right-sided centre back, as backup / competition to Craig Dawson, and they brought him in for £8.5 million from Girona. As I say, for me, probably the most pressing deal to get done before the end of the window. Wolves could not have started, or rather continued, the Premier League season with 3 senior centre backs. I think that was fairly obvious. And then obviously with Nunes going out the door, it is a separate deal, but of course would have influenced this deal being done is Tommy Doyle coming in. One that I think could be a real quietly impressive transfer, as someone who did so well with Sheffield United last season. Very good ball player, wants to get on and make passes. I think he'll add a little bit more stability to what could be quite a chaotic Wolves midfield. Very energetic and very good, I think, Wolves midfield, but a little bit more calmness on the ball and maybe a little bit more stability to their play. So I think he could be a very key sign, naturally. And with it being a loan deal, which of course for Wolves financially in terms of FFP, they're not paying anything for him now in terms of a permanent transfer. That kicks the can down the road, if you will, to next summer. And the option is 4.3 million, which is a hell of a lot less than what clubs would have paid for him permanently this summer.
Absolutely. So those are the ones who have come in so far. Let's go with potential outgoings first, and then we'll go to potentially, the people who may be at Compton Park. If anyone's in a tree later on, let us know. Send us a tweet, send us a text, send us a picture. Look, Alfie Pond gone as well, of course. Season on loan, of course. Made his debut on Tuesday night against Blackpool, and he's gone to Stockport. I think that's a great learning curve for him. Be a bit different down at Stockport, I'm telling you that. But make a man out of the lad. So I think that's a really good move for him. What about the other outgoings? Of course, Daniel Podence, Johnny are the two that are talked about. Is there anything that we could see there? Guedes, of course, obviously has already gone as well, hasn't he, as well, to Benfica?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. No, on Alfie Pond, I think it's a really good move, really good club, big club at that level as well. So yeah, great. And SG Park's a difficult place to go for any club, whether it's home or away. So I think, really good move for him. I would like to quantify this by saying never say never. And of course, things move very quickly. I have to say that because things, as I say, will move. But the expectation is, if at all anyone goes today on deadline day, aside from potentially a loan or two, which I think going to try and keep up on top of for any young lads. But in terms of senior players, would be Daniel Podence and Johnny. So the difference in attitude between the two and the way they've conducted themselves over the last few weeks means that Podence hasn't trained with Wolves at all, whereas Johnny started against Blackpool the other day. That says everything you need to know about them two individuals. But the stance, as far as Wolves are concerned, and they've been free to go all summer, has not changed. They are still free to go. Podence has been linked with the move to Qatar. Their transfer window does not close for a little while yet. I believe it's another week or two. So that might not necessarily, if it does develop, happen today. It could happen further down the line. Either way, Wolves desperately want to get him out, and they would absolutely be open to letting Johnny go as well. But up until this point, they've had very little concrete interest to allow them both to go. So it's going to be one to watch between now and 11 p.m.
Okay, and of course, everybody wants more. Incoming wise, do you expect 1, 2, 3 signings to come in between now and 11 o'clock?
Yeah, look, there's been a lot of rumours with a lot of different players, and look, Wolves they're not stupid. They'll have a number one target, but they'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 targets beyond that player in the same position. And they'll be ready to move if they have to on any individual player. So it's clear at the moment the Wolves are looking at Che Adams at Southampton. It seems at this stage, and obviously with Wolves' financial position as well, that a loan with an option or something along those lines is probably more likely. But of course, it depends on how willing and how open Southampton are to that. I believe he's got a year left, so him signing a new deal at Southampton would probably smoothen that deal and sweeten the deal for Southampton to happen. But it's clear they want to make that happen. It's something they're working on. Other clubs, Everton have looked at him previously before they signed that Portuguese striker Beto, but Bournemouth have been looking at him as well, so there'll be competition there. And then one that has quite excited the fan base is, I hope I pronounce this right, Jean Rickner Bellegarde. And I'm
Definitely
really
100% did not pronounce that right.
I
can
hope
guarantee
I
you that
did
now.
justice there. And look, I don't think either of us could sit here and say we've seen a lot of him playing in the French league.
Speak for yourself.
He's a 25-year-old central midfielder, but has played out on the left, and I believe he has played there this season in the first few games for Strasbourg as well. 2 goals, 2 assists in 3 games. He's clearly got a creative spark. He seems as more of a natural replacement for Nunes, someone who has been playing out wide, but has been a central midfielder. So, hopefully an attacking option for Wolves if they can get that deal done. Again, lots of moving parts with this one. They're 2 players that they're clearly in talks with, trying to make happen. But as I say, if they can't get them over the line, they'll have several other names that we're trying to work on and trying to find out who they are to make a deal done. I would expect Wolves look to bring in 2 more. But of course, Harrison Reed's been one they've looked at Fulham. There's other names doing the rounds. It could be 3, potentially more, but I would say 2 is probably a safe bet. And clearly, a striker and a winger inside forward position are the priorities at this stage, having done centre back and midfield already.
And just on the side as well, Wolves have got a new number 9.
Yes, Fabio Silva. I think we said on the podcast maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago that they were in talks to give him the number 9 shirt, obviously after Raul Jimenez left. And with him being uncertain on his future, a lot of moving parts there with whether he would leave or not before the end of the window, it was mutually decided that he wouldn't get the number 9. And now with him 100% staying, he's not going anywhere. Wolves want to keep him. He's happy to stay. They decided to give him the number 9. And I think it's a really good statement of intent from Gary O'Neill, from Wolves, and from Fabio Silva to take on an iconic number. And it's a little bit of pressure on his shoulders, but he's got that first goal under his belt now. And I'd like to think that he pushes on.
Right. So 11 o'clock deadline. Are we going to be still here at 10:59 waiting for some news? Or do you think this will be Wolves would like to get this all done and dusted a little bit earlier?
Oh, don't get me wrong. They would love to get this done and dusted and be home for 8 p.m. and have dinner. Don't get me wrong. But this is unfortunately Wolves making some pretty important moves late on transfer deadline day, and it's very likely to drag on. As I say, things also move quickly. It could happen at any time, but I think Wolves are going to be working probably fairly late to get what they need done. And it keeps us in a job and keeps us busy, so I can't complain.
Liam, if I was a Wolves fan and I'm looking to see a summary of everything that's gone on in the last week and some detailed analysis and some chat and maybe some idle banter at times, maybe win a prize or 2, maybe some predictions, maybe a preview to Crystal Palace, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I go looking for it?
Particularly if you want a prize, considering the predictions so far this season, it's got to be the Wolves poddy.
Got Wolves Poddy. We shall be doing it. Like I say, we still don't know exactly what time yet, as you can understand if you've just watched this video. Why? But it will be out today, tonight, tomorrow morning. It will be
At some
out
point.
at some point. At some point, will be out. So make sure you. This is the Wolves Poddy, and yeah, join Liam, join myself. We'll be giving you all the latest news. Hopefully, some signings to come. Thank you.